I love a good squad-based open-world RPG. Some of the big names in that genre would be like Mountain Blade, Kenshi, Battle Brothers. These are some of my favorite games. And while they're few and far between when we get actually a good one coming out, we got a few that are in the works. And I got a dozen here, actually, that are coming out sometime in the next few months, next maybe a couple years. And I'm gonna show them off here today. We're going to begin with Tattered Banners. Lead a mercenary company and a turn-based tactics RPG. You can see the inspirations here with Wartales. You get a big open world map in this sort of fantasy medieval style. You assemble your company. You go from town to town doing trade. You can become a bandit of your own. You can quest around. The towns dynamically kind of grow and shrink in this, and depending on how the trade worked, which is kind of a neat system. This is by Cookie Bite, and when you go into combat, it goes into this sort of turn-based style like Wartales. But the dynamic map is kind of the thing they're selling on this one. And there is a demo out. In fact, there's a new demo that just came out for this one over on the Steam page. I'll have links, of course, for that. But this is Tattered Banners, the first on the list. Up next, we're going Dark Medieval. Band of Crusaders is a dark medieval strategy RPG set in Europe. And Europe has been overrun by demons. And so what you do, well, you get your band of Crusaders, you assemble your band of Crusaders, equip them, level them up, travel across the world in a Mountain Blade or Wartales style. And then it goes into this, not turn-based, but like slow down time tactics, real-time tactics, every time you go into combat. And then you collect loot, you go from town to town, you trade and all that good stuff as you grow your band of Crusaders. This is by Virtual Alchemy. It also has a demo. It's over on the Steam page. I got videos on a few of these, and if I have those, I'll have those in the comments. And, of course, Steam pages are in the description. War of Banners. We got more banners. This is a sandbox turn-based tactical RPG, similar to the other Banners one, but it has a little bit bigger scale, I suppose, where you start as a nobody, which is the theme here. And you can work your way up to actually running like an empire ruling sovereign, they say. And so you start out with your little tiny company, but you eventually go into like full-on scale battles. You sit in your throne room and you take in people. You divide who your family's going out to. So it seems like it's going to go massive scale. Jackto Studios is developing this one, and it also has a demo over on Steam. I haven't played this one yet. I need to do that. Impurity is up next. This one seems to focus on that. It's like third-person view as you run around the world, hacking, slashing, building up your company. You know how all that stuff works. By Incurso Studios. However, you can also go in and you can like build up your town, and you've got sort of the town building side of it. But then you can also walk out and go hack down some monsters, navigate rival settlements, trading, allying, waging war. As there's also a bunch of relentless ancient horrors out there in the world. No demo for this one yet. Whiskers of Waeth is a top-down sandbox RPG by Calm Fox. There is a demo for this one as well. As you build your party, and there's some sort of evil coming out into the world, and you have to go and take care of it. But it's got this overworld that you move your party from point to point, and then it goes into this almost action RPG, almost looks like Vampire Survivors, honestly, when you go into combat and with your party versus whatever monsters are out there. That's the tactics part of the game. But anyway, interesting idea for that on this genre here. Ashigaru Tactics is a Japanese Battle Brothers, is the simplest way of describing this one, where it is set in the Warring States period in Japan, and you are one of those factions, and you, big open world, move from town to town, and then it goes into these hex-based, even looks like Battle Brothers, the character portraits, but it's Japanese, and you're trying to deal with clan wars, bandit incursions, and of course the occasional yokai, coming back to chomp on you. This one does have a demo over on Steam by Mr. Crops. Before Arthur is a medieval sim that the trailer, I'm not sure if it does a decent job, I think, of explaining what the Steam page is trying to get across to you, where you can build your own town, you can like draw all the roads, you can put your houses down and all that, but then there's a GIF on the Steam page I think shows it better, where you can zoom out from tiny town and into the big overworld that you can run around in in this sandbox RPG, and you can attack other towns, attack monsters, explore the place in this very much sandbox open world style. And it mentions like open world, RPG, grand strategy, 4X. It throws all the tags in there, and we'll see how this one turns out. But I am intrigued by it for sure. These next 4 that I've got, the trailers lean on like making them look like hack and slash combat, just combat sims. But the Steam pages make them sound like a little bit more on the Mountain Blade type of thing. They just aren't showing that. Mainland is first one up here by AdRaiser, where you have that Bannerlord style of combat, which they are happily showing you here in the trailer. But there is an overworld. You can go from town to town. Your company, you can you can build up a company and travel from town to town, doing trade and banditry and all that good stuff that we look for in a party-based, squad-based RPG. It just doesn't show it very well in the trailer. But it is an interesting looking game, and there is a demo to try out. And it even mentions Mountain Blade here. Actually, all of these, I think, mention Mountain Blade in their Steam pages. They just don't show it so much on the trailer. Kinstrife is the next one on the list, which definitely touts a lot of Mountain Blade type of comparisons. But the trailer is all about just the hacking and slashing in combat mode. But it is a medieval strategy RPG, where you are a nobody, wandering knight, and you slowly work your way up into becoming a somebody. You can go into battles, you can go into tournaments, you can build up a clan, eventually build up an army, and go into full-scale Bannerlord style of combat. This is by Finitude, and Hooded Horse is publishing this one. And again, the trailer doesn't show you much, but if you read through the Steam page and all the behind-the-scenes stuff, they certainly are looks like a Mountain Blade leaning overworld and party assembling and all that stuff. Next up, we have Chronicles Medieval, set during the 100 Years' War by Raw Power Games. Again, you're a knight, and you got to work your way up, making your story, whatever you want to call it, as you assemble your party and travel across the map. In this like grander scale, you're going to have big armies eventually in this fighting across the map, but eventually going out and, going from town to town. And then we have the Bustling World. Bustling World is one of those that may come out, ? It's been in development. It's been talked about for a long time, but they're not very active on Steam. The developers aren't. But apparently it's still being developed. It is an open world RPG set in fictional ancient China. And you recruit an army, you stabilize a regime, you engage in diplomacy as you travel from town to town in this open world exploration RPG. And it's been mentioned. I've had it on my wish list for years, but slowly we get some information about it, and I am looking forward to it. But there's a Steam page link in there for you if you want to check that one out. And that's my list, except I got one more, and that is Kenshi 2. I can't make a list about this and not mention Kenshi 2. We don't get a lot of information about Kenshi 2. We get a sprinkling of information every few months or so. I'll show some pictures of what is there, but it's supposed to be set like 1,000 years. This is 1,000 years before Kenshi 1, during sort of Catalan's era, and the I think it's like the origins of the Holy Nation, the Shek Kingdom. They're all there. They're just early days before, before Kenshi 1, obviously. But anyway, that's the one we're looking forward to. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time.